Hello everybody. So today we are working on a dry well. I had a buddy come over with his backhoe and dug about a 5-foot deep hole for me. You can see water in the bottom. It rained the other day, so I guess the dry well's working because water went to our hole. Because this is the lowest spot in my yard. It gets pretty swampy. While I was here, I also had to run like a French drain path. This is a spot where water collects. It's like 2 low points. I figured this would be better than trying to run French drains everywhere because just my property is kind of low, and it's fairly inexpensive. It's just really just my buddy coming over with that, and then gravel. So we're gonna fill this hole with number 57 limestone gravel, and then we'll line the trench. We'll put some pipe down, put some more rock, and we'll go over that in a little more detail. So our first step here, after you get it all dug, is get the stone. So you can see over there, I have a big pile of stone. So I'm gonna get my kids, and we're just gonna wheelbarrow it over. I did think about have my buddy come over with his tractor and bucket and do it real quick, but I thought it'd be a good learning lesson for the kids to do it manually, so they can see what hard work is and whatnot. So remove that stone over to here. I ordered three yards of gravel is what we got. Shouldn't need it all here. I have a couple other spots I wanted to put some gravel down, so we'll see. So we are going to get to work on moving gravel, and then we'll check in once we get this filled up. All right, so we cleaned up our trench here with the shovel, cut out the roots and stuff, and we started laying the gravel. What we're doing is we're trying to keep about 2 inches below the pipe, and we're spreading it out. And I'm kind of making a V. I'm using a little garden hose. So you can see we made a couple piles of gravel, and we're using the garden hoe to spread it because it's such a tight spot. Shovel might work, but it was a little more difficult. So just grabbing it and pulling it where it needs to go, and then if you turn it a little bit to the side, go down the middle, you can make a little trench that the pipe's going to sit in. So it's going to keep working it down. I'm leaving a little bit on the sides that like I said, that black pipe will sit in. And then we just go down this next pile. We'll do the same thing. We're just gonna pull it toward us, and then use the hoe to make a little trench. So it looks like we're gonna need one more load of stone to finish our base layer. And then we'll lay the pipe in, and we'll pull it back over, and we'll touch base again once we get to that point. All right, so we got our gravel laid in. Kind of roughing in the pipe here on this end because we don't want this to fill up with dirt and gravel and stuff. So I have an end cap, and the end caps just snap right on. You put it in there, give it a smack, and now it's stuck in there, so it's not going to go anywhere. So we're just going to kind of place that in. And we're going to go to the other side and cut to length. So on this side, you can see we filled the drywell totally with gravel. And we're just going to extend this in to roughly right in here. There's no exact measurement. You can just use a simple utility knife. And since this is perforated with the little slots, if you put your knife in there, and if you have a good blade, you can cut just all the way around it pretty simply. Get that excess out of there. And you might have to clean it up a little bit like I do here, because you want a good end. All right, so when that's cleaned up, now on this end we don't want to use an end cap, right? Because we want that water to flow out. Well, you don't want it to get filled up. So I got an end cap here that has drain that'll allow that water out, and this one you just put on the inside, a little smack, and it'll lock in there. So then we'll set it down, and now we'll come back through with gravel over top of this, close to the top, and then we'll put some filter fabric along with some dirt back over it. When you're laying the pipe in there, try to, as you dump the gravel in, I have the hose sitting there just to hold it in the center while he dumps it. All right, so he's gonna go fill that up. I'm gonna use the hoe and scrape it over, and we're just gonna work our way down here until we get to the end. A quick status update. We worked on that end. We're working our way down, leaving a couple inches of gravel on the top with enough room to put a little bit of dirt on top as well. And then on the end here, sticking out. And when we dump the next one, we'll push that over so it's kind of going straight like this. So almost there with the gravel part of it. Once it's all done, we'll show you progress, and then we'll start putting the weed barrier on. All right, so we got the drywall all filled in, and then we got our French drain in and the gravel down. So our next step is to run some weed barrier across this French drain, and then we'll cover it with dirt, and then probably do the same over here. I'm kind of debating whether I want to leave this exposed with maybe some decorative stone or something, but I'm going to give that some thought, and then I'll let you know what we decide. All right, we have our filter fabric down. I kind of tucked it in on the sides. I cut it to the right width. There's a couple ways you could do this. They also do make the drainage tube with like a sock over it that will act as a fabric filter. I've seen people use straw as well. Some people don't use anything. I personally think you need something just to keep the dirt and stuff from clogging up your drain. So it's kind of wrinkly right now, but what we'll do is kind of smooth out this side. I'll start putting dirt on top of it, and then as I move, I kind of straighten it out and fix it. So I'm going to get started on that, and we'll do a progress shot to show you what I'm talking about with smoothing it out once we get it. It's hard to do without any weight on it, so once you get some dirt on it, it's a lot easier. Yeah, we're a good part down, a little less than half probably, but you can kind of see what I mean with smoothing it as you go. You can kind of tug on it and fix those folds and pull it tight as you go along, so you don't get a bunch of folds in there, and you make sure you're covered gravel wise. So we are gonna finish this section up, and we'll see. I'll probably leave this dirt here for a little bit, let it settle, maybe even over the winter. It's October in Ohio right now, so if I let it sit through the winter, that'll be nice and settled, and then I can smooth it all out and then move this dirt to other low spots. So almost there, and we'll show you when we're done. All right, here's our basically finished product, to clean up that dirt along the side and get that to some low-lying areas. I did end up covering this part with dirt, the drywell, put filter fabric down and covered it up. And then in the springtime, we'll plant some seed and see if we can get some grass growing here. I'm not big on the yard, as you can kind of tell. Weeds are green just like grass, so it's not a big issue for me out here in the country. But fairly easy-ish project, a little labor intense. Outside of digging it and then getting the stone, it's about 3 hours worth of work, and we did it all by hand with a wheelbarrow that ended up breaking, so then we started using the small one, radio cart, to do it. So about 3 hours, by 2 hours to do all the stone and stuff, and then maybe another hour to do the filter fabric and the dirt. So but all said and done, we'll see how it does this year. It's about a $200 investment to do this, a lot cheaper than running French drains everywhere. So hopefully it makes a difference. If you have any questions, comments, concerns on how I did this, there's multiple ways to do things, so I'm sure people will comment with the better way in their opinions, and that's fine. I'm always looking for new ways to do things. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, post them in the comments below. Hit like, subscribe, and all that jazz, and we will talk to you soon.